When does the impossible turn
Refueling is coming back. Something's going wrong with the engine.
become possible? How high do you really need to be before you can turn back safely to the airport? Barry Schiff says you should practice the impossible turn and stop thinking of it as impossible. I wanted to try out the maneuver, so I called up my flight instructor, Sandy Gear. He's the chief flight instructor at the Frederick Flight Center.
The objective of our maneuver today will be to figure out a good safe altitude that will allow us to safely turn back to the airport given the set of conditions we may find on any given day.
So I studied the maneuver last night and checked the winds this morning and the weather, and I think we're going to want to start on an easterly heading. So we'll climb out, get out to the practice area, and go up to 3,500 feet. I thought that would give us a really good safety cushion. The maneuver recommends climbing between VX and VY, so that's going to be about 70 knots in the 172 that we're flying. Once we pass through 4,000 feet, you can pull the throttle to idle, and then I'm going to try to hold the pitch up for 5 seconds. Apparently that's the amount of reaction time it's going to take a pilot to, recognize the engine failure and react. Sandy tries the first one.
So you're going to climb at full power at 70 knots. When we get to 4,000, you'll pull the power and hold this pitch for 5 seconds.
Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Roll left into a 45-degree bank turn, pitch for best glides. Then at south, we would roll wings level. And flare to stop, you ready to descent. And note altitude.
100.
500, wow. Okay.
We learned that nailing the best glide speed makes a big difference.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're good. 300 feet. I don't know how you did that. I mean, done it what, 3 or 4 times now? 4 times.
Can I try it again?
Of course.
Well, we just got back from our practice flight of the impossible turn up at altitude, and Sandy, what did you think of the maneuver?
I thought it was excellent. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it's a valuable teaching tool, and actually I plan on incorporating it into my training for my instructors when I do checkouts in the aircraft with them, but also for my customers, my students as well.
I got it turned around in about 300 feet, and so if we multiplied that by the 50%, 150, so that's 450 feet, we'll say 500. But what I noticed, I mean, obviously because I had Sandy on board and he was looking out, I focused only on the instruments, trying to hit the airspeed, the bank angle, keep things coordinated. I mean, I might as well have had foggles on. I was not looking out, and obviously I can't do that when I'm 500 feet above the ground without an engine. Also, I wasn't nervous because we were at 3,500 and then 4,000 feet, so I felt comfortable. And I don't know that I could replicate that if I lost my engine at 500 feet on the ground. I think I would need to practice it a lot more, especially so I could do it looking out, because that low, no engine, I'm going to need to be looking out.
I agree. I thought it was very enlightening. My usual safety brief is under 1,000 feet. I'm going to look for a place to land straight ahead, and I think after practicing this maneuver, I'm going to continue with that 1,000 feet. I think anything less, maybe in the best of circumstances, sure, possibly I could accomplish it, but the 1,000-foot margin is what I'm going to continue to use.
Not an easy maneuver, and definitely not something to try at all without any kind of training, but going up and practicing at altitude does give you a better feel for what you could do in an emergency. And if I didn't have a landing spot, suitable in front of me or slightly off to the left or right, but I had maybe 750 feet of altitude and a lot more practice on the maneuver, I might go ahead and do that turn back rather than risk an unsafe landing, because some airports don't have good landing spots off the end of the runway. Alyssa Miller, AOPA Live.
Oh. Look at that, Miller! Freaking awesome! Nice job!